Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for tuning in for another edition of Truthbuster News. It is October 26th, 2017, and I'm your host, CJ, the originator, the founder of my channel and my outfit that I am in the works of trying to grow independently. I want to say my deepest thanks for tuning in and checking out my work. It means quite a bit to me that you take time out of your day and break free from the matrix that we live in. And because that's what it is a matrix. This false reality, this la la land where everything is leprechauns and unicorns and rainbows, and at the end of the rainbow is a leprechaun with a pot full of gold just for you. But no, sorry, that's not reality. Reality's harsh, reality's cruel. So if I can get some of you to break free out of the trance, I'm doing something. But also I can't do it without your support. And the way you can support is by sharing my work. I'm not asking for anything of finance. And nothing against those that do, because they have an operation they have to run independently, and it's very costly to run such an outfit. Once you grow, you got to expand, and it takes money to grow. And we all know the government's not going to fund something like this and others that do the same thing. They're not going to fund it. They're not going to be able to get a loan or a line of credits or any kind of money for this. No. The government and the agencies and the banks, they're going to fund the propaganda machine so that it can keep spewing lies and deception and disinformation and continue to manipulate the truth and twist it around and to spin it to fit their narrative. And the offspring of that is lies upon lies and more lies that goes on down the list. So again, I want to express my deepest thanks for you tuning in. And like I said, you can help support by sharing. Because the more people I reach, now I don't get monetization, I don't get nothing from YouTube. I didn't even go for that option. I just want people to know what's going on. And the way you can help do that is by sharing what I put out there. Because see, the more people that know, the knowledge, they say knowledge is power. And it's true. And the more you know, the more you can get ahead of the chess game that is played on a daily basis. You can start anticipating their next move with the more that you learn. But sometimes that is difficult because they're a crafty devil. The New World Order, that is. But tonight what I want to cover is that suddenly there has been a breakthrough, if you will, in the false flag Las Vegas shooting attack. And the breakthrough is that mysteriously Stephen Paddock's laptop hard drive has ended up missing. and removed from his laptop. And all the mainstream media pundits have decided to spin this. From one other aspect or another. Let me just go with some of the headlines that I pulled off Google. This is from the New York Times. Stephen Paddock's missing hard drive complicates the Las Vegas case. Fox News reports Stephen Paddock removed his hard drive from a laptop found in Las Vegas. ABC News says Vegas shooter's laptop missing his hard drive. The New York Post puts up Vegas killer's laptop is missing his hard drive and missing his hard drive. And it goes on and on. I'm gonna lay a fact out there for you. When it comes to clandestine operations that is conducted out by the CIA, the ATF, the FBI, the NSA, if they have field operatives and they want to conduct on the ground clandestine operations so that they don't get implicated and the paper trail doesn't lead back to them, they're going to do whatever they can to destroy the evidence or get rid of the evidence or lock it or secure it so that nobody knows the truth. The FBI took over the shooting the very day it happened. They were quick to put out press conferences with Sheriff Lombardo himself giving a statement, and also the FBI. And throughout the development of this, the FBI enroached itself deeper into this investigation. So much so that it scared the living daylights out of Sheriff Lombardo, and you can clearly gather that from his demeanor on the last press conference that was held a couple weeks ago on Friday the 13th of this month. You can see the multiple videos that have been uploaded of the press conference by LMVPD and other reporters that were there. The footage shows that Lombardo was under a lot of duress with the continuing presence of the FBI being there. So, if you were to take a look from a different perspective and observe and analyze those conferences, you could get that he was shooken up a lot of the times. And that tells you right there that behind the scenes, the FBI have completely taken over the case. Now, when it comes to the FBI and their investigational work, they don't want the public to know the details. Not all of them, just what they want the public to know. So that's why they said there was going to be no more press conferences. Because the pushback of independent journalists and alternative media pushing the envelope for the truth to be told, even though they know they weren't going to do it, but they kept pushing and pushing and pushing, hoping to break their stronghold on the investigation and let the truth come out. But evidently, it was, and when it came to that aspect, it was a no-win situation. But we're still pushing it. We are still pushing for the truth to be known. And we're not going to stop until it does. So, the claim that the hard drive became missing is ludicrous. Because it's well known that the FBI has been involved in an unsurmountable amount of corruption. All you gotta do is, do a search, FBI corruption and cases in one aspect. FBI case corruption, FBI corruption in general. And there's a whole laundry list. There's topic after topic. Let me name some, just a couple for you. How about, for instance, bribery? I mean, it's made national headlines throughout the course of time that the FBI has been caught bribing various people of interest on different matters. Bribing them to keep their mouth shut. You also have the cover-up of evidence that falls on line with that. When something gets out too quickly that shouldn't be leaked out, they're quick to cover it up, so they'll bribe somebody, or they'll set them up to take the fall. How about false flag operations? Vegas is one here. Here's a couple others that they've had an involvement in. I mentioned on one of my previous videos, and I'll touch on it lightly, the Christmas tree bombing incident that happened back in 2010 or 2011-10, around that time frame, here in Portland, Oregon. The FBI made, a mock-up bomb with mocked-up materials, actual materials, but they were inactive materials for a Middle Eastern guy, Muslim, to blow up a holiday event. That's one. And how about the underwear bomber? They had their involvement in that at the JFK airport in New York some years ago. So you see, it doesn't surprise me one bit that the FBI would remove the hard drive from Stephen Paddock's laptop. Now the $1 million question is, was it removed before the shooting happened or after? Because when it comes to a case like this, all evidence has to go through the police. They're gonna gather all materials of the investigation. They're gonna secure it in various apparatuses so that their prints do not get on the evidence and materials or tools and all the pieces of the crime scene. So they'll dust them for prints. They'll seal it up, and if it's a laptop, it probably have to be put in some kind of case because a bag wouldn't fit. So they'll seal it in that. And once all those items are gathered, they are taken to a forensics lab to help aid in the investigation. So, if this was done prior to the shooting being commenced on October 1st, they would have to find a way to assemble the laptop in the original fashion so that it looked like it wasn't tampered with. When you take a device apart and whatever kind of hardware screws in it, when you loosen them up with a screwdriver or a little screw gun, when you torque them out, because they're torqued in upon manufacturing so that they stay sealed so that it doesn't void the warranty on it, there's going to be markings on the screws to see if there's any wear applied to it. If they did take it out before, that would be shown as a concern. But we're not going to know about that. And on the other hand, it could be done afterwards. Now, if it was done afterwards, which is a strong probability, because the FBI could manipulate the forensics lab and the police department, bully them around so they can get access to the laptop, so they can remove it in. And here's a third possibility. And that is, once the laptop was found, before it was delivered to the forensics lab or whatever apparatus they use when it comes to investigating devices, it could be the department office itself. But whatever facility it was on its way to, so that it could be looked at and investigated, the possibility remains is that it could have been removed en route to transportation route, on along its way there, and then put back together upon arrival. Hopefully we will find some kind of details on this matter. And the truth will be known. I want to read to you an article from blacklistednews.com. Actually, I'm going to go to naturalnews.com this time around. Mike Adams is a investigative journalist and also a head of a laboratory in Southern California that analyzes toxicities in food and water and gives you real research on such issues. But the headline goes as follows: Vegas shooter, Stephen Paddock's laptop hard drive missing as mystery deepens regarding motive for the attack. A new bombshell development has surfaced in the continuing investigation into the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. The hard drive of a laptop belonging to Las Vegas shooter Stephen Paddock is missing, say sources close to the probe. As reported by ABC News, police and other investigators found the laptop in Paddock's 32nd story Mandalay Bay hotel, from which he rained fire down on a crowd of 22,000 people attending an outdoor country music festival across the famed Casino Hotel. On October 1st, reports that 58 people were killed in the attack and more than 500 wounded. Sources told the news network that authorities were hoping to find some sort of clue or motive on the laptop, but are now stemmed because its hard drive has been taken out. What's also odd about this is that according to authorities, Paddock had purchased software that is designed to wipe all data from hard drives. Though it's not clear whether the software was used on the laptop because authorities can't locate the hard drive. What makes this new development particularly odd is that it coincides with previous reports that the FBI confiscated cell phones and other personal devices from eyewitnesses of the shooting and wiped them clean before returning them back to the owner. YourNewsWire.com reported that a female eyewitness wrote about the incident in a Facebook post. A bunch of people that worked at the Route 91 said they got their cell phones back today. They all said that their phones are completely wiped clean. All messages and info from that weekend are completely gone. Has anyone else experienced this? A few different people who were vendors there are all saying the same thing. Route 91 is the concert venue Paddock attacked. A manager from the venue also confirmed that at least some of the content on his laptop was wiped by the FBI. Okay, this is key, very important right here. A manager from the venue also confirmed that at least some of the content on his laptop was wiped by the FBI. Of course, he wrote on Facebook, it was an active federal crime scene. They can wipe it clean. Can they now? And a violation of the Constitution and our civil liberties, no, they cannot. But they take it upon themselves to do so regardless. They can wipe it clean. I was the beverage manager for the entire event. Other publications, including InfoWars, reported that they were contacted by others who told the same story. The fact that all the information relating to the massacre has been deleted is sure to prompt further claims of a cover-up, Your Newswire reported. Conservative columnist Ann Coulter has even written about the inconsistencies in the narrative regarding the shooting given by local police, which is also making people more suspicious. I don't know what happened, and apparently neither do the cops. But it's kind of odd that we kept being told things that are true about the Las Vegas massacre. From the basic timeline to this weird instance that Paddock made a good living at gambling. She went on to point out a number of irregularities and issues that remain unanswered, such as why Paddock checked in his Mandalay Bay hotel room days earlier than police initially said that he did. Why was he wearing gloves if he had planned to commit suicide all along? Police said they determined that he planned to survive the attack. And why the shooter fired 200 rounds at a security guard who was checking in on someone else's room before beginning his massacre. There are other unexplained irregularities too. One former CIA and intelligence officer said that his sources have told him police already knew there was a political motive behind his rampage, but they're loath to announce it yet. Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer, a Fox News contributor, said, "My sources tell me they reviewed the information on those videos, and there are things that do lay out some understanding of his motivation," he said. LVPD also said they had discovered Paddock led a secret double life, which could also point to a possible motive behind the attack. So in one aspect, National News reported from an ABC article, and in the content it said that the laptop was in the room. Okay, this is an ongoing investigation. That room is still considered a crime scene. It is sealed until further notice. So, the claim that the ABC, of course, put out that it was found in the room is complete bogus. because of the surveillance of the Mandalay Bay Hotel, they would monitor. They have complete 24-hour live feed monitoring. Who goes in, who comes out, every access point throughout the entire facility is monitored. They have cameras on every floor, even in the rooms. I think they have them in the rooms, I'm not sure, but I know at least every floor. Now, Mike Adams does a lot of great work, so I give him credit where credit is due. But the propagandist machine, ABC, is trying to tell you that the laptop was already in the room when it was found with the missing hard drive. No, it was not. It was removed from the room at some point. And most likely placed back in the room. Only time will tell with a lot of investigational work on tracking how the hard drive became missing. But I laid out some groundwork there. And I'm gonna use my own groundwork that I mentioned to get some more pieces to this puzzle put in place. But the thing is, do not buy into that bogus claim that it was already there. The scenarios that I put forth could be proven true. At this point, I'm just speculating. On the other hand, what I said is most likely the outcome, the scenario, the path, the motive was chosen in that particular fashion. So that it could be done under your nose. And placed back there as if it hadn't been tampered with. I find it hardly unbelievable that it was left there, that knowing that this is a crime scene. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you have news tips you would like to share with me on any topic, you can send them to truthbusternews@gmail.com, and I will keep your identity completely confidential. You have my word on that. I only report on what you send me. If you have tips on how I can do a greater job, send me those as well. A better job at what I'm doing. Some advice. Send it to my email. You can follow me on Twitter as Truthbuster News. I greatly appreciate that. In closing, I want to say, be safe, prepare for what is about to come. Keep your eyes and ears open. Do your own research. Be safe. survive another day in this matrix, and God bless.